me about how, I started looking at doing actual brick and mortar businesses before I did the internet business thing. And sometimes it was an investment of $100,000 right up front. And like the lowest one I found was for 30 grand. And I was like, when I started the internet business, again, it was under a couple $100. And what I built from that is far more than even the $30,000 one. What they said I was going to return in the first 5 years isn't even as much as I make now in a year with something I started with under $200 total. And the expert thing, yeah, that's another really big one. It wasn't until we both Jay and I, we were like, we're an expert because we know more. And how did we know more? Well, we learned about it and did it. That was it. No magic wand. Nobody came over and gave us a certificate and said, you're now an expert. And yeah, we talk a lot about this because of those being some really huge fears.
Well, even Napoleon Hill talks about in his book, Think and Grow Rich. He wasn't the expert. He went out and interviewed all the experts. And so sometimes, and I think even with you guys, you just got started. That's one of the things that I really related to with you guys is y'all were doing well, but yet I still felt like I kind of connected with you guys. Just listen, y'all didn't know who I was, but just your story, you were real, and you shared your struggles, on some of the podcasts. Man, we recorded, this is our third take on this podcast. We recorded it twice before, and then the recordings are gone. Just you guys were real, and I think a lot of people think that everybody else is polished or they're perfect, or I need to wait till I'm better and then start doing it. No, just get out there and start. Starting just what you were saying a while ago about following your passion. My passion was not chiropractic marketing. That's just where I was at, and I knew I wanted to get started in internet marketing, and that was the avenue I took to get out there. But I think in doing that, you go through one door of opportunity that you see, and then it opens up a different door, and then you just kind of follow your heart and your passion where your mindset is, and then you go to something different. And I am so much more passionate about this than I am just chiropractic marketing.
For sure.
So those are two big ones, though. The am I good enough, and then the finances. And here's another one: is just getting distracted. I think it's really easy to know you want to do something, but remember that you have House DVR'd from last night, and you really want to watch that episode because the guys at work were talking about it today. And so you sit down and you think,
and it was really good, by the way.
It was very good last night. I was pretty impressed. But you sit down and and you just don't take any action. And one of the things that I try to do is first off, plan out, okay, what's kind of the whole GTD thing. Is that right? Getting things done? Yeah, GTD thing.
Yep.
To go out and work on this project, what are my next 5 steps I need to do? If I'm going to get up right now and go do something, what is that action going to be? Okay, and then, you just kind of write these things out, and then every day do something that's going to get you closer to that. And it would just make me feel better, even if it was just registering a domain name. I could sit down with pride knowing I did a little bit of something that day. But just have something that you need to do next that's going to get you a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer. And my wife, was even saying the other day, she goes, I'm really pretty proud of all you've done. I was like, really? Well, thanks, but, okay. If you're going to pat my back, pat it some more and tell me why you're patting it. I like this stuff. And she's like, I've just seen that you have worked hard. And then, we're seeing all the fruits of it now. And she said, because I remember seeing you sitting there with the laptop, typing away. And, she's thinking I'm on Facebook or something. And no, I'm, writing a blog post or whatever it is. And it's just working and getting something done is bringing you closer to your goal every single day.
Great advice. So how has, you were just talking about how your wife mentioned, hey, we're starting to see the fruits of your labors. What are some of the ways that having an internet business and doing this style of business has impacted your life?
One of our things is, we really want to be able to travel more. And right now our kids are in school, but we've already been planning and looking at the curriculum. One of our desires is to be able to, let's, we're not going to move next door to you, Jason, but, let's go to Portland, or let's go stay somewhere. We still want to have our home here, our main home here, but we want to be able to go somewhere for 3 or 4 months and take the kids with us, but homeschool them. This goes back to the 4-hour work week, developing a business with your desired lifestyle in mind. And so in doing all this, it's totally been set up to help us reach that goal. And we went on a cruise here a few weeks ago, and it's just one of the pieces of it is being able to travel and do more things. And then one of the things that I like about, especially with you guys, is I mentioned to my son earlier about doing the interview for the podcast for you guys. My son knew exactly. I mean, I just said, hey, Jason and Sterling want me to do an interview for the podcast. I didn't have to explain to him who you guys were. He's like, oh, cool. He knows because
Nice.
he listens to it when we're going to school or whatever, when I'm taking him here and there. It's just,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's that kind of stuff.
Very cool.
All right, so we want to give a couple of really nice tips to the people. So what are your 2 top tips for somebody who wants to start an internet business?
Find your heart. If what is it that you really would like to share with somebody? I forget. This was another one of the many books I've read. I heard somebody say one time, if you were to write a letter, you were dying tonight, and you had one letter to write to the rest of your family, or what is it you want to tell them or teach them? What is it that you're that passionate about? What would that be? Now that may not be the way to find your niche. But that's going to be the big one, is you got to find a niche, something you're really passionate about. And sometimes, like with me, I wasn't unbelievably passionate about that. So what's the second thing is, what is it you're really good at? And start off there to get it going, and then kind of, like we talked a while ago, let that lead you to something you're more passionate about. But just start. Find something, pick a niche, pick a passion, and get started. Register the domain name, start, mind mapping some content ideas of what you would share, how you would share, what problem that niche has, how can you help solve that problem. That would be the first one. And the second one is just surrounding yourself with people that are going to motivate you and keep you on that road to reach your goals. It's very easy to share your goals and ideas and dreams with people that are just gonna, oh, that's stupid. Yeah, nobody can really do that, And so just be careful on who you share your dreams and stuff with, and just surround yourself with people. Like you guys, the Academy, I think is great because it's all these people that are like-minded that you can just connect with. That, if you got a problem, well, you throw it out there, and they're going to encourage you, and they're going to help you. They're going to get answers for you. That's going to help you along that road. So did I say 2 of them there?
Yeah, that was 2. That was great. We're always excited to hear people that have been through the Academy that loved the mastermind communities in there and get that kind of, mastermind and fellowship out of it. That's great.
And that is a really cool thing about your story, the fact that you did just get started in something you were good at, and you had those connections to the chiropractic market, you were helping with marketing there, and then it led you to a passion that you had, and then something else that's even more fulfilling for you now as a business. And so that is a great lesson to be learned by listening to your story. So I like that a lot. Well, thanks, Billy, for taking some time to share with us your wisdom on writing your own book. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be excited to check that out. And they all know where to find you online now. So we'll be seeing you more through Internet Business Mastery online in the Academy and elsewhere. But thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys.
You've been listening to the iconoclasts of the 9 to 5 and the purveyors of freedom and fulfillment, Sterling and Jay. Sterling and Jay invite you to discover one of their most popular audio programs ever. The 3 pillars of designing your ultimate internet lifestyle. Visit freeaudiogift.com now and sign up for the free weekly Internet Business Mastery email newsletter. And you'll get instant access to this life-changing audio presentation, pulled directly from the content of the acclaimed Internet Business Mastery Academy membership community. Go now to freeaudiogift.com. Internet Business Mastery. Free your mind.